I want to talk to you about Navy Fed product changes. The conditions under which you want to do it. I want to talk to you about the criteria, the best time to do it, so on and so forth. So here's an overview I want you to pay attention to. So when I talk about Navy Fed product change, we're talking about credit card product change primarily. Okay, so new credit cards with better perks or rewards programs come along frequently within the Navy Fed pipeline. So you would like to apply for one, but you don't want to take the credit score hit, right? Like you could lose a 5, 10 points or 15 points in some cases. And the good news is that it is possible to get the perks of a new Navy Fed credit card without opening a brand new account. You can ask Navy Fed to actually effect a product change, and that will be really that's totally possible. And this happens not just with Navy Fed, with other providers as well. Say, for instance, you have a Chase Sapphire Reserve that you opened years ago for the travel perks, but now you're traveling less often and would like have a cashback. So instead of closing that card, you could request a Chase product change and get a Chase Freedom Unlimited in its place. And so the same thing also can happen with Navy Fed, okay? So, but the thing is, as with all personal finance decisions, you should do your research before jumping on a new Navy Fed credit card. So you want to look at the benefits of the card, you want to look at the disadvantages, and you want to see exactly where you fit across the board. And it's not just you changing every 3 months. You want to change when you are ready. I mean, when your budget really allows you to do so. For instance, let's say you have a new job, or let's say you got promoted at work, and then you're making more money now. So you want to really change your Navy Fed. You want to affect a Navy Fed product change. This is totally possible. This could be a great opportunity. Or let's say you actually you have seen an increase in your Navy Fed internal score. This is also could be a great opportunity to apply for another card. And I mean, you don't have to apply. You have to just change them. You have to ask them how to affect the change. And in some cases, Navy Fed will not do a hard pull. They will do a soft pull. And as you can see on the screen here, here is the product change application. Or you can also call them, or you can affect the change via the app. This is totally possible, not a problem. By the way, boss, welcome back to the show. It's really a pleasure to have you here. Make yourself comfortable. You are going to enjoy today's conversation. A lot of people are asking, why do a Navy Fed product change? As I said a little earlier, it really depends upon your situation, okay? You might request a product change rather than applying for a new Navy Fed card because you want a card that better matches your lifestyle and or spending habits. And you want to keep your current card's history on your credit report, and you do not want to have a new credit inquiry on your new credit report, okay? And remember, Navy Fed only has a 4 or 5 credit cards, so it's not really a lot. So it's one of those things where you have to see what really works for you. If you are looking for cashback versus travel rewards, then this could be a possibility. And when it comes to everything about Navy Fed, it's all about your local branch also. Not everything is available online. Not everything is available over the phone. So sometimes it just makes sense to go to your local Navy Fed branch and ask questions there. I mean, I want to have a Navy Fed product change. How is that possible? What should I do? What are the requirements? Now the requirements are pretty straightforward. You have a better financial situation. You have a better credit score, Navy Fed score. You have a better credit score. Or let's say your family situation has changed. Let's say you were single. Now you have a son, you have a daughter, or you have a wife, you have a husband, and your things are changing, and you want to have something that allows you to rack up cashback rewards. So this is totally possible. So that's why it's important to talk to someone before affecting the Navy Fed product change. Don't do it over the phone. If you hear there are a lot of videos on YouTube that tell you to do a Navy Fed product change over the phone, it's not working. The best way is to go to a branch to actually affect the change. Now, everybody doesn't have a Navy Fed branch nearby. That's totally sure. But if that's the case, then you can still do it over the phone. But you first want to make sure, if at all possible, to request the Navy Fed product change at the branch. Boss, I want to quickly remind you of today's topic. We are having a conversation about Navy Fed product change. Now let me talk to you about the walkthrough. I want to walk you through a product change at Navy Fed. So the process doesn't take long. Actually, you can call Navy Fed, or you can go to the nearest branch, and you can tell the representative which card you have and which card you wanted. So basically, at first, an Navy Fed, they don't want to do it, right? You have to justify, you have to contextualize why you want to affect a Navy Fed product change. Just call in and say, I want to change, wouldn't cut it. They're not going to do it for you. So, you might hear like they're not able to make the switch because the two cars are different products and have different terms and conditions. But if you actually are persistent and you say that you know what your credit card is, you talk about your good balance, your good credit history, your good relationship with the credit union, that you've been a Navy Fed member for maybe say 6 months or 6 years or have you are able to convince people. That's why I was just telling you a little earlier to actually go to a branch, because over the phone, when you actually have a no, it's kind of complicated to really change that unless you are a good salesperson. But if you go to a branch, then you have the time to really talk and make your case, okay? And it's one of those things where you have to see what really works for you. And if it doesn't work, you can tell them, listen, you can go to a PenFed, for instance, that you take your business elsewhere. I mean, it's one of those things where if they see that you are serious about making the change, maybe they will actually help you here. And what we have seen is that in some cases, if you actually quote unquote threaten them to take your business elsewhere, to PenFed or Connexus, or to Alliance, or to another credit union, then they will really will think about you. Now, the thing is that once you actually so chances are you might get a new credit card, okay? But once you get the new credit card, you really want to destroy the old card. Very important. You want to notify merchants of the new number for recurring payments, and you want to delete the old card from your mobile wallet and add the new one. So it's those are pretty straightforward sort of like admin operations that you need to do to activate the new card. Let me give you a few pro tips here. When we talk about the Navy Fed product change, you really need to understand that, of course, you can have once you have the new product, change affected. In other words, you have the new card. You really have to really understand that you have to manage your accounts properly. In other words, you are now having to deal with a new account, right? Which means that you have to pay attention to things like automatic payments. You have to think about freezing or unfreezing your card in some cases. So if you temporarily misplace your credit card, freeze the card while you locate it. To activate, sign into a digital banking, select your credit card and click freeze card. And so once you've found your card, unfreeze it just as easily, okay? And so freezing your card is not a notification that your card is lost or stolen, or that there have been any unauthorized transactions on your account. It's simply a way to confirm no transactions can be made until you find your card. So if your card is lost or stolen, or if you noticed unauthorized transactions, please call 1-888-842-6328 immediately. So 1-888-842-6328 immediately. And when we talk about Navy Fed product change, you also have automatic alerts. So this is actually another great way for Navy Fed to protect your data. This is really fantastic. So automatic alerts are a great way to stay in the loop and protect your account. So you can sign up to receive alerts about things like credit card transactions or recurring payments. And to actually set them up, sign into your online accounts, click the account services tab, click sign up for account notifications, and select cards under the notifications tab. So this is really cool in terms of giving you the capabilities that you need. And the cool thing is you can actually do everything I'm telling you. You can do this for one account, for one credit card, or 4 credit cards. I mean, you can do it for multiple credit cards in the family too. I mean, you can actually create a consolidated accounts where you actually sort of centralize the management of all the accounts that really are related to your household. This is totally possible, and Navy Fed members do this all across the country. Boss, I want to quickly remind you of today's topic. We are having a conversation about Navy Fed product change, and I'm telling you everything about it. And here is the approach I want you to really pay attention to. So when we talk about a Navy Fed a Navy Fed product change, of course there are benefits, but there are also downsides, and this is important to really know about the downsides. So, switching your Navy Fed credit card can be a great solution, but it also might not be a perfect one. So you have potential loss of accrued points, you have ineligibility for a sign-up bonus, and you have limited card options. So when we talk about potential loss of accrued points, so losing the points on your previous Navy Fed card wasn't, maybe is a big deal or not a big deal. It really depends upon your situation. But if you are considering a product change, try to use your points or miles before you make the request. And issuers such as Navy Fed might approve an apples to apples change, but might not let you convert points to miles or cashback, or vice versa. So you always want to contact Navy Fed's customer service for the rules, and you might be ineligible for a sign-up bonus. So it's one of those things where if you do a product change, you probably will not be eligible for a sign-up bonus either. Also, you have limited card options, and so as noted, most issuers like Navy Fed only allow you to switch between proprietary cards, those issued under the bank's or the credit union's name. So you usually cannot swap a proprietary card for a co-branded card, those issued by the bank or credit union on behalf of, say, an airline or retailer, or between two co-branded cards. So this is something to really think about. And so sometimes a card issuer like Navy Fed will upgrade or downgrade its products without a customer's request, offering new benefits or reducing them. And it's one of those things where you have to be aware of it. I mean, it can happen. It has happened. It does happen, And so whether you want to upgrade, downgrade, or just get a better rewards program without a greater hit, do your research and then call your issuer about a product change. You want to call Navy Fed to make sure that you are really following the rules here. Now, one thing I want to say is that when we talk about Navy Fed product change, you really need to understand that it's all about flexibility. It's all about timing. It's all about making sure that you contact the customer service rep as soon as possible, right? And so I've already established that you do not want to do it over the phone. If you can't do it at a branch, go to a branch and have a conversation there. So if your Navy Fed credit card is no longer working for you, you can ask for a product change, and you'll have to stay within the same family of cards though. This means that if you have a premium Navy Fed card, you could change it to another similar card with a lower annual fee, but you couldn't opt for, say, another card in a different category. Okay, and this is really important. And if you wanted a new card in another category, you will have to apply for a new account. And if you want to do the same thing, it's the same process with Chase or American Express. I mean, when we talk about Amex, for instance, Amex offers a new popular cards and allows you to upgrade or downgrade the card you have. But as with Chase, there are card family restrictions. So if you have a card that earns membership rewards like the Platinum card from American Express, you can only change to another card that also earns membership rewards like the American Express Gold card. Likewise, if you have a co-branded card like the Delta SkyMiles Reserve American Express card, you can only switch to a different Delta card. And this is what it is. So it's one of those things where you have to see, every provider is kind of different. But the cool thing is that, what we love about Navy Fed is that they most of the time, unless you have a situation with them, if you have a clean history with them, they will approve your product change, not a problem. And they will approve it within 24 to 48 hours. I mean, they're really that fast. That's why I was just telling you, go to a branch to affect the product change there. I mean, the process is faster at a branch than when if you were to do it over the phone or via email or via the app. Okay, it's a really a lot faster. Now, when we talk about a Navy Fed product change, obviously we're speaking about a credit card, but there are some cases where you might want to have a Navy Fed product change. Let's say you have a loan, you have an outstanding loan, and if that's the case, you cannot actually do a product change there. If you have an outstanding loan, you're gonna have to pay the loan off before taking another loan. You can't just say, you know what, I want you to change the terms and conditions of this loan because I don't like it anymore. It doesn't work that way. Same thing for a line of credit. It's not the same process. You're gonna have to follow certain regulations to really see what really works for you. What I want to say is that there are some possibilities in terms of switching. Let's say you have a Navy Fed credit card or Navy Fed like a loan, and you have agreed with the credit union that after 5 years, for instance, if you pay off the amount, you can certainly just get another credit card, like a revolving sort of line of credit. That's totally possible. But if that's the case, then you can do things in a certain way, but not through a credit card. Now, Navy Fed actually they used to give a line of credit. They changed their operations during COVID, like a couple of years ago. So nowadays they do not offer a line of credit anymore. They do offer a loan. So the maximum here is $50,000, but they do not offer a line of credit. Same thing for PenFed. PenFed also, back in the days, they used to have a line of credit, but nowadays they don't actually do line of credit anymore. They do loans, but no line of credit. If you want a line of credit, you're gonna have to go to another player such as Connexus or Alliance or you have to go to another credit union. Navy Fed is not going to allow you to have that, and it's always better. And I'm going to finish on that. Always better to go to a branch. If not, call the number on the back of your existing card, and you want to really explain why you need a different card, why you need a different product, and if you have a good history, if you have a good condition, they'll certainly work with you, not a problem. And one thing I want to say is that, please, if you have more than one account, more than one credit card, see how the new credit card will affect your existing credit cards. This is an important element because this could affect your credit utilization ratio, your CUR. So be really aware of that because your CUR has a direct impact on your Navy Fed score, but also your credit score. Thank you so much for your attention. I really appreciate it. In today's conversation, I was just speaking to you about Navy Fed product change. So I give you the overview, the pro tips, the approach, and now the request. The recap rather. Thank you so much. God bless you. I'll see you next time. Until then, remember, stay marvelous.